Hi everyone, welcome to the monthly card collab hosted by Metal Scrappin Chick and Crafty Crabb. Hi ladies, and there are a number of us this year, so please be sure after you watch mine to check out all the other participants in the collab. Collabs are a lot of fun, you know, you hop along and see everybody's beautiful creations. So, well, hopefully mine are. Anyway, this month our theme is floral / spring. Boy, I'm so ready for spring, except for the lawn mowing and stuff. But anyway, I made 3 cards, so be sure you stay and watch for all 3 of them. So I'm just going to jump right in. Here's the first one that I did. I made it be a Mother's Day card. And let me show you, I'm sorry about the glare, guys, but I'm going to have that because it's foiled. So the first thing I used was this beautiful paper that is not available to purchase, but starting in March, if you purchase from Stampin' Up! $50 worth of merchandise other than this, you can get this free with your order. So you do have to place an order of $50 or more before shipping and tax in the US in order to get this, and it has both rose gold and silver foiling on it. So gorgeous. So as you can see, I fussy cut some flowers out and I colored them. Actually, I colored them and then I fussy cut them out. Oops, I just dropped a piece, so hang on. So what I used were alcohol markers. Stampin' Up! Has alcohol markers called Stampin' Blends, and I used Rococo Rose Light and Dark, and Granny Apple Green Light and Dark, and bronze for these little berries here. So yeah, and it makes it so easy to just color and create beautiful things. And then of course the foiling stays on there, as you can see. It's just gorgeous. So since it had rose gold, Stampin' Up! Does not have rose gold foil in the catalogs. However, if you were fortunate enough to get, and I think it's still there perhaps, the Everything is Rosy collection. It's a product medley. It's in the clearance rack, guys, for a really good price. So well, it was as of last week sometime. But it had rose gold foil in it, and I had a piece where I had cut something out of that left enough around it to put as a border on here. So I put a rose gold foil as a border. This is Whisper White, but I used the, you've seen me do this before if you watched my paper pumpkin alternatives. I used the Scrappy 3D embossing folder, and I inked the front side with Rococo Rose ink, and that gives this effect back here. I just glued this down onto that piece, but before I put this piece onto the foil, I did use this ribbon called Gathered Ribbon 1 inch, and it's Rococo Rose, but it's like a two-tone. It has a metallic in it, which isn't really rose gold. It's sort of a coppery kind of color, but it goes real well because this sort of had the copper bronze. I don't know, I just thought it looked well with it. And then I did take the rose gold shimmer paint, which comes in that product medley. You cannot get that in the catalog. And I have an old empty or almost empty Wink of Stella. So you just shake this up, you know, take your brush into the lid and then tap before I put these down, obviously. Tapped on my stamped Mother's Happy Mother's Day and also on the background, so you get little dots of rose gold shimmer here and there. You can see a couple up here, some there, and even on the Happy Mother's Day tag. So I used those, and then these 3 little mirror dots in rose gold also came out of that same, I don't know, that's something. There we go. That same product medley, Everything is Rosy. So I use those. This is stamped in Rococo Rose, and that is out of the set. Timeless Tulips, Happy Mother's Day. Okay. But the punch I used is the Pretty Label punch. It's one of my favorites. You can use it as clouds or whatever. It just, I love this punch. Always have since I bought it. It was one of the first ones I bought from Stampin' Up. And this is bumped up on dimensionals. The ribbon is just wrapped around the bottom there. And then on the inside, I had a little thin strip of the rose gold foil left, which I put on after stamping this image with little roses on it. Here it is, out of Grace's Garden stamp set. I'm sorry, let me move this light up a little bit. There we go. Right here. So this is the Grace's Garden stamp set. It does have dies. Oops. I leave notes on for myself on what I want to use them for. I want to use that again for something else, but anyway. So yeah, that's where those came from. And this is just Whisper White again, and it's on Rococo Rose. These are all Stampin' Up products. So that is card number 1. Oops. Card number 2, I did a little different, but in the same color family, sort of. I used Breathtaking Bouquet. And let me see. Oh, and I used Layered with Kindness, This Happy Birthday. Let me make sure there's nothing else. Oh, and Well Said, for the inside of the card, My Life is Better Because You're in It. So let me show you what I did for this one. For this one, keeping Rococo Rose, I put it on thick Whisper White. This time I used the subtle embossing folder. Oops, not that one. Hang on. I don't know if you can see, it just has a fine texture. There, that's a pretty good view of it actually. And I did that on the Rococo Rose, but the Breathtaking Bouquet is a background stamp. And excuse me so much. I was originally going to watercolor it, so I heat embossed it. So I used Versamark, excuse me so much, on the whole background, and then I used gold embossing powder, which is Stampin' Up product. See the gold? So I also then heat embossed or stamped this in Versamark, this Happy Birthday, which is in the Layered with Kindness stamp set in the mini catalog, current mini catalog. And I also heat embossed that in gold. I again used that ribbon that I just showed you. And I did a fake bow with that. And then these are the metallic pearls. The pack has gold and silver, so I just used 3 little gold metallic pearls on the outside, 1 up here and 2 here. This is bumped up on dimensionals, the rest is not. And then on the inside, heat embossed, My Life is Better Because You're in It. I did use the subtle embossing folder again on Rococo Rose. I don't know if you can tell. Anyway, yeah, and that's pretty simple on the inside. So I thought that came out beautiful. I'm always needing birthday cards. So that was card 2. And then the third one I did a little different, was Playing. And this is it. So I used for this one the Timeless Tulips. And I think, is that the only stamp set I used? Yes, that's the only stamp set I used. I had to use the Stamparatus though, because these are in pieces. They're photopolymer and they're distinctive, but it really didn't matter because I used white embossing powder. So what I did is I stamped the stems first in Versamark, then I took them off the Stamparatus and I put the leaves on and stamped them in Versamark. And then I put the tulips on. So, and then I used white embossing powder and heat embossed it. Then I took my Daffodil Delight ink and my water brush, and this is not watercolor paper, but it is thick Whisper White, and I went over it. But it seemed like the tulips didn't pop enough to me, and I didn't want to add too much water to it. So then I got out my pigment sprinkles. And guess what? There's Daffodil Delight in there. So I just put a little bit, oops, sorry, up here, 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 a little bit up in this corner, some in the middle, just to give it a little more something, something. And I think that really made the difference on it, and also helped make it a little brighter so that the white embossed flowers popped. So then I pulled out, this one was a little bit of a long process. I pulled out, Stampin' Up! Has the designer series paper that goes with each color family, and I pulled out this Daffodil Delight. And it's in gingham on one side, and then this side has this. So I thought, well, first I was going to just put that behind it, and then I thought it was too much yellow. So then I was going to put a piece of Granny Apple Green behind this, and then on top of this. And then I was playing around, and I thought, well, if I'm going to do that, I don't want to waste this whole sheet of paper. So I took a stitched rectangle die and cut a piece out. And then I thought, oh, well, that looks really good framed. So I trashed the idea of using the Granny Apple Green on the front, except down here. And I bumped this up on dimensionals after I glued this piece right onto the thick Whisper White, which is a vertical card. Okay, so, and then this Happy Easter, Happy Spring, that is out of the Timeless Tulip stamp set, which is in the mini catalog. I stamped it in Memento Tuxedo Black. And then these are Flower Faceted Gems, and I don't know if that's Daffodil Delight, but I thought it was pretty and sparkly. And I actually was looking for my gingham gala sequins, but I'm kind of glad I found these instead, because I really like them with it. This is actually white twine, which you've seen me do this before. I took the dark Daffodil Delight Stampin' Blend, put a piece of paper towel under it, and just take the brush in and color it. Make sure you get kind of all sides of the twine. I mean, not sides, but you know, front. It kind of does if you don't want it to twist and show all white. Or maybe you do, because then it would be like this. But anyway, I used dark Daffodil Delight, wrapped it around 3 times, and then I put the little flower in the middle, and I think that came out cute. And then inside, I did use another piece of Granny Apple Green to bring that out, and a strip of the designer paper on Whisper White. And that's all I did. I didn't put a sentiment on the inside because I don't know who it's going to, and I don't know what I want to write. So that is card number 3. So let me bring them all back in and show you again my 3 cards for our monthly card collab with Metal Scrappin' Chick and Crafty Crabb. So we'll put this over here so we can break this up a little bit. There we go. All 3 cards. I hope you enjoyed that in my floral spring card making. And if you have any questions on how I did anything, or if you would like to purchase anything and you're in the US and 18 or over, please get a hold of me. My contacts are down below the list of everybody that's participating in the collab. I would love to be your Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in the United States. Contact me and I'll help you with whatever you need. Alrighty, take care. Thanks so much. Hugs, love, and peace.